What is going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are having a fantastic week this Monday. This episode goes up on Monday. I hope you guys have a great Monday and rest of the week. Today's episode is a comparison between my Elite Force 1911 Tactical and my buddy JT's recently acquired Elite Force GLOCK 17. So, kicking off the video, first off, the comparisons in this video are mine and his opinions only. Tests we did on the pistols were both completely fair. We started with a fresh CO2 cartridge on each test, so there wasn't any, oh well, this gun had less CO2 than the other. Okay guys, so to kick this video off, the first thing we're going to cover are the externals of both pistols. I'm going to start with the 1911 and then do the Glock. So with our 1911, I have the Elite Force 1911 TAC. So it is not your standard 1911 traditional World War II style. First off, we have our threaded barrel / orange tip. This is also, I believe, is part of the standard 1911 as well. So just know you have an orange tip. You may or may not be cautious or want to be aware of that. If you do screw on a suppressor or muzzle device of any kind, often you may peel off the paint. There is some, let's see if it'll focus here real quick. There is some paint coming off of mine. I don't use a suppressor. I've been using it a lot. It's been 3 years wear and tear. So moving on, we have front slide serrations, and you may ask, what are those for? Why would someone need that? Well, you want to check if there's a BB in. You can rack the slide using the front serrations, and it provides a better grip. So you're able to rack it from the front. You can grab it, do your operating needs with front serrations so you have a better grip of the gun. Moving on, we have rear slide serrations. Oh, wrong side of the gun. We also have a tactical rail. It's very beefy, very thick, very dense metal. It's very heavy, very sturdy. It's not gonna break. It'll hold anything that'll attach to it. So we have our trigger. The trigger is just a skeletonized trigger. It doesn't change or affect anything really, and it's an airsoft gun, so the trigger isn't really that great anyway. You also have your slide release / catch. When you're empty, it locks back, and then when you're ready to shoot again and you have a magazine in, it's ready to fire. You also have your ambidextrous safety, and it's also enlarged. You have your skeletonized trigger, your beaver tail safety, and stippling on the back strap of the gun. You also have your Novak style sights. I'm trying to get them aligned. I don't know if I can. Hopefully you can see that. Novak style sights. I like them a lot. Maybe you won't. Your mileage may vary. It's up to you. And you have your textured grip. It's okay. It's honestly really slippery, kind of plasticky. It's not that great. I'd say change them out for Magpul MOE grips. That's what I plan on doing. You have, okay, so moving on, my personal thoughts on it. I love this pistol. This is my baby. I clean it Love it, shoot it all the time, my favorite. I have a couple gripes though. You may find them as not that big of a deal, but they kind of mess with me sometimes. It's just a little gripes here and there. First off is, as you can see on the front of the grip, there is no texturing, nothing. But on the back of the grip, there is. I don't know why that is. I just like, it's very, very smooth, which can be a good thing because it's comfy. But the bad thing is when you're shooting and you may have sweaty hands like mine, it kind of gets a little loose. You don't have as good of a grip on the gun. It can wiggle around in your hand, affecting your accuracy, you know, stuff like that. So I think they could have done a better job. Maybe add some stippling or something to the front. I'm probably going to have to get some grip tape and add that. Secondly, the sights are not night sights. They are white dotted, but they are not glow in the dark or anything. I would love to see, I love these sights. They're awesome. I love these. I don't have any issues with them. But I would love to see a tritium insert or something to glow in the dark. Maybe just this front bit. I don't know. That's just me. And the issue is you can't replace these iron sights. So you're kind of stuck with that. And I play in a very dark environment a lot of times. My field is really dark a lot. So not being able to see my sights on my gun is kind of an issue for me, but if you're playing outdoors and it's daylight all the time, then you probably don't have that same issue. So overall, that's pretty much it. That's a quick rundown on this 1911. I love it. It's my baby. So yeah, next is the Glock. At that front, you have your orange tip. This is not threaded.
You can take it off though if you want. You just
you can take it off.
You just gotta get one of these fancy little tools here, and just pinch it.
I'm sure there's threads under there. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's threaded on the inside, but you just have to do this, and you can unscrew it. We're not going to do it, but you can if you want to.
Yeah, if you're 18 years old or older and can legally do that, go ahead. Moving on, you have your awesome Glock trademark 17 Gen 4 Austria 9x19. You have your universal rail. It holds flashlights. That's about it. You have your slide stop. Most people think it's a slide release. I guess you can use that if you like to. But what it's really intended for is just a slide stop. After, when you change the mag, you put it in, and you're just supposed to rack it. You're not. It's just there as a slide stop more than anything. Moving on, we have, of course, the tilting barrel design. That awesome Glock trademarks on top. And you have your Glock sights. Love it or hate it, you decide. I don't think they're nearly as good as the Novak sights, but as long as you practice, it'll be fine. It shouldn't matter. Moving on, because this is a Gen 4, you have your enlarged magazine release right there. You also have finger grooves and stippling around those finger grooves. You also have some stippling on the front of the trigger guard if you like to grip that way. You have stippling along the back strap, and there are no external safeties on this gun. That is part of Glock. The only safety externally is that if you pull the trigger without pulling this little flap down, if you pull the trigger, it will not fire until you have that, and now it will fire. So that's the only external safety. So if you like your external safeties, I don't think you would like that very much. It's just kind of it's always ready, just shoot. So moving on from that, let's talk about the magazines really quickly. So these aren't exactly standard Glock 17 magazines because they have the little extension here. So when you put it in the gun, the Glock 17, mind you, is a very beefy, thick gun. Okay, this is a full-size duty pistol, very big in my hands. I have kind of small, meaty man hands, so this is quite large for me to hold. And with the magazine in, it's even bigger. Okay, like this is a very large pistol, and that's what my friend was going for. He wanted something very large, very girthy. He has a little bit bigger hands, so this for him is super comfortable. But in my opinion, I think the Glock 19 would have fit better in my hands. So if you have small, medium man hands like mine, you may want to check out the Glock 19 maybe before you make your decision. Let's talk magazine capacity really quickly on the Glock. This one, the standard size mag, of course it has the thumb extension, but it doesn't add any rounds, is 22 rounds. That's a pretty good amount. I'd say that's pushing up towards the high capacity, high capper range. So keep that in mind. You have 22 rounds in this, and in my 1911, it's still a double stack design, airsoft wise, but it doesn't carry nearly as much as that. It carries about a little less than half. It carries around 18 rounds, fully, like, really packed in there, tight. 18 rounds you'll get out of a standard one. There are extended magazines that hold 27, so I'm guessing if you push it, you could probably get 30 into a gun like this, but you get an extended mag for this, I'm sure it's closer to the 50 round range. Okay, let's talk 1911 ergonomics. One of the reasons I do love this pistol so much is the grip angle, and just the grip of the gun in general is fantastic. It's phenomenal. When John Moses Browning designed this firearm back in 1911, he did an outstanding job. And because my hands are kind of small, this is a bit of a thinner pistol in comparison to the Glock. You can see it here. It is a little bit thinner. The actual slide is thinner, but I'd say overall it's a little bit thinner. And when I grip the 1911, I just have a better purchase on it than with the Glock. Only complaint, like I said earlier, is that there's no grip tape or no stippling, nothing on the front, so it gets a little bit slick if your hands get sweaty or something like that, so keep that in mind. But if you have smaller, meaty man hands, you may like the 1911 design just a tad bit more than the Glock. Still, I'd recommend going to your airsoft place and trying both of them out before you make any sort of decision. This was just a quick rundown on both pistols. Remember, they're both CO2, and next we're gonna go into the range and accuracy portion of this comparison. So I'll catch you guys over there real quick. Okay, Glock 17, 20 yards, 3 shots, go. Alright, let's go check it out. Are you rolling? Yeah. Alright guys, full disclaimer, he was aiming for this flap because we have a lot of shots over here. So the grouping for the Glock 17 at 20 yards is right here. So next is the 1911. We'll see how it fares. This is 1911, 3 shots at 20 yards. Come on. That went over. Okay, I'll put one more because the second shot flew right over the target.
Well, you can't do that.
Yeah, I can. Boom. All right.
Full disclaimer.
No.
This is 4 shots. One of them went over.
Okay, I think
So,
it was the wind. It was
he
the wind.
thinks it's
It was the wind.
but oh well.
So, look at this. That's a beautiful grouping right there. I mean, kind of. Not
Besides
this
the one guys that flew over, it's long gone. It's like way
fine.
over there.
All right. So, yeah, this is just a quick little accuracy. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other. Alright guys, so real quick we're gonna do just a max range test. Right now we're at 30 yards. The target is way down over there. So we're just gonna do a max range, and I'll be back to say which pistol hit where at what range. We'll figure all that out real quick later.
I heard it. You had to aim pretty high, but I heard it.
Okay, that was 50 yards on the Glock. Alright guys, this is 60 yards, Glock 17. Go for it.
Hey,
Glock 17, 60 yards, BB's hitting the ground. Go for it. Yeah, so they're hitting right over here in this area.
hit. Alright, let me go down. Alright, so with the 1911, some of them, it was actually sporadic, like, it was crazy, okay? Because some of them were landing here, which is about, I think this is about 10 to 20 yards out from the actual target. And then some of them either glided on the top or they actually did hit. So the 1911 actually did hit, but the only time they hit is when they got a lot of air and they were gliding the whole time. So they shot about the same, besides the Glock. The Glock dropped a little short here, but other than that, so did that one until it got a lot of air.
So yeah.
Action! Shoot!
Hey, appreciate it.
I'm gonna kill you, boy! I'm pulling it. Ow!
Hate you.
Alright.
Okay, leave.
Alright,
Get. Like, out of that door? Why are you going that way? Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was a little different from the other stuff, but I'm just kind of trying new things all the time. So, leave a like or a dislike. Let me know what's up. I hope you guys have a fantastic Monday, and I will see you next time.
Put in the comments that Glock is better! Peace! Signing out. See you tomorrow.
Okay, you heard them. Leave in the comments which gun you think is better. Make sure, if you actually think about purchasing either one, go to your local airsoft retailer, store, whatever, or your friend who may have one, and check it out before you make a decision. My opinion is not your opinion. Peace out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.